So evening lovelies, just joining me on your mat in whatever place you want to start with, seated or lying down. And just have a moment to let everything go. Nice deep breath in. And a lovely long exhale. And as you do that, just let the shoulders relax. Start to let all the muscles that you notice that are tense relax. And we'll just start to slow the mind down a little if it's been busy earlier on. Relaxing your face. And rooting down into the earth. Noticing the quality of your breath. Whether it feels quite shallow this evening, or whether it feels really quite comfortable to have lovely long deep breaths. And being conscious of your breath. What's going through your mind? Have a little awareness of your thoughts, and just sort of trying to stay and follow your thoughts. Noticing if you're feeling quite uplifted today, or a little bit downhearted for whatever reason. Check in with your emotions. And noticing if there's anything that you want to feel from your practice this evening. Whether it's just to be a little bit more mindful of this next hour, what you're thinking and feeling in the different poses and when we're in neutral. So if you're lying down, when you're ready, just hug your knees in. Have a gentle rock. And in your own time, just coming up to seated. If you're already seated, then you might just want to roll your shoulders and move the head. Just feeling the body before we come into a seated position. And we'll do mindfulness of breath this evening, which is a nice practice because of the 4 stages. It's quite structured, and when we count the breath, there is that reason for focusing, and the mind doesn't wander off so much. So join me seated and just get comfortable, resting your hands in Dhyana Mudra. We'll take 5 minutes, which it usually takes about this length of time. The 4 phases are where we count the out breath 1 to 10. Then we shift that and count the in breath 1 to 10. The 3rd phase we just stop counting. And then the 4th phase we become really much more conscious of the mechanics of the breath and how it feels in our body to breathe and what we notice. So we become really quite mindful of the breath, which is the name. So let's time this. 5 minutes. Resting hands, relax the body and face. Maybe start with a nice deep breath. And then we'll begin counting the out breath from 1 to 10. Counting the in-breath now, 1 to 10. Then relaxing the count. And then finally on this last phase, just really tuning into how it feels to breathe. Around the nostrils, the rib cage moving, and the belly. Just take a few more conscious breaths. And then when you're ready, you can blink your eyes open and gently come back into the practice, noticing how you're feeling. So we'll take butterfly, our first pose. Just coming off cushions if you're on them. And then coming into bringing the soles of your feet together. Getting comfortable and gently softening and relaxing into this. Excuse me. Nice deep breath. And then as you exhale, just starting to find where you can relax throughout your whole body. Hips and legs. And then upper back and shoulders and arms. Relaxing fingers. And then your head and neck, face. Notice what you're feeling and where you're feeling it. Where is it most intense this evening? And as we sit with this pose, just notice if you can move a little bit more into it. Quite often we've softened into it, and then there's another opportunity to explore a bit more reach. Breathing to your belly. Noticing if the breath is quite rapid or slow. Is this a gentle pose for you this evening, or are you quite invested in pushing into the pose? Relaxing shoulders and back. And with one more minute to go, just see if there's a little bit more movement. Let's take a few more breaths. And then really gently lifting up. Nice and slowly, feeling that relief perhaps in the hips just as you lift your body, and then as we straighten our legs, Tuning into how the knees feel. Nice and slowly lengthen them out. And coming down. Enjoy, relax. A nice long inhale and exhale just to start to soften your back muscles. Drop your shoulders. How long does it take to really let go and relax here? Deep belly breathing. How much is your body feeling this evening? Sometimes we come into these poses and with this sort of a mild sensation, and other times we can really feel everything. Perhaps where we've been holding the body in a very tense way unknowingly. So when you're ready, just bring your right knee in and then your left one. We're going to come into twisted roots, but have a moment first just to enjoy rocking. How does it feel on your back as you rock from side to side? Can you feel any tension in your muscles even as you do this? And if you want to just roll up, just to grab some props, I'm going to use a cushion for the knees and then a little rolled up blanket for the opposite shoulder just to support there. It really does enhance the pose because we can let go and really relax. So come back into a lying position. We'll start by taking the legs towards our right. So bring your left leg over your right, cross them over. And either roll yourself over, or I tend to sort of lift myself and roll over, and then just gently positioning some support for your shoulder. Get yourself comfortable, especially on your right hip. You might need a bit more padding underneath there. And then just take your time to come into this twist. The more time you take getting comfortable, the better, because you can really relax then. So when you're ready, start trying to let go. Relax the inner thighs. It might be really tense in the tops of your legs, around the groin, where you're crossing your legs. Notice if your calf muscles are tight, holding your feet in place. And just start to let go. The feet might slip a little, that's fine. And then just start noticing how you're feeling around the waist and the belly and lower back. And relaxing the shoulders, head and neck. Keep returning back to your legs and your lower spine. The muscles in your lower back can often be quite tense here. Deep breaths. How do you feel in this pose this evening? Is it welcome? Does the body really enjoy the sensation? Or is it resistant and a little bit challenged? Notice if the neck is holding tension in the way that you're holding the head at whatever angle. How do you feel? Check in with how you're feeling around the left buttock and thigh and lower back. Whether you can start to enjoy the stretch here through the waist. And noticing how different the breath feels in the chest between the right and the left lung. Keep checking in with any tension through your legs. Staying present with your thoughts. And we'll take one more breath. Lovely, nice slow movements. Just unroll yourself into neutral spine. And just enjoying whatever you're feeling. Where do you notice it? And on which sides of the body? Breathing to your belly. And then as that sensation fades, we'll just draw our knees in for a moment before we come into the other side. Enjoy a nice little rock. And even as you kind of rock, notice what feels nice, what's alleviated by this gentle kind of nurturing motion. And so we're going to come into the other side now. Bring your cushion, if you're going to use one, to the left. Whatever support you're going to use, perhaps for the opposite shoulder. And then bring right leg over left. Bringing yourself into twisted roots on the opposite side. Again, as always, just take a few moments to get yourself comfortable and you will enjoy the pose a lot more. Deep breath as you settle. Again, checking in all the same spots through your legs, upper legs, and then lower back and waist. And whatever angle your head is at, we're noticing if there's tension in your neck. Let the chin drop. And with any twist, we're working with our digestive system. So you can notice if you can hear some sort of rumble in your tummy, chi or prana moving. Relax your eyes. And noticing if this side feels nice in this position, or if there's some real differences you're noticing. As you breathe, notice the breath move from belly up to chest. And just stay following that until the thought takes you away. How does your body feel? Do you feel good? Is this helping charging your battery if you felt depleted? Just noticing how you feel emotionally in this pose. And so we'll take just a few more gentle breaths. And in your own time, you can start to gently unwind. Take your time as you move each limb with consciousness. And gently finding neutral spine. Relax. And just take this opportunity to really notice how the right and left are balancing out, what you feel most after that particular twist, where there's cold or coolness in your body. Relaxing your lower back. And then after a few more breaths, we'll hug our knees in and come up for dragonfly in a moment. But take your time here. So as you roll up, if you had a little blanket that you were using earlier or a small cushion, as we come into dragonfly, as I have this handy, I'm just going to make it a little bit flatter and use it just to sort of put the edge of my buttocks on, just so that you're sort of almost sitting on the edge of something that just lifts you ever so gently. We can extend the legs out. And there's a little bit of a difference in the feeling in this pose. Take a moment just to get yourself comfortable here. Just that little lift brings the pelvis tilting forward in a gentle way that encourages the pose. So take your time and allow yourself, when you're ready, just to explore this leaning forward. Be gentle. If you're a bit stiff or achy or twingy through your back, just gently lean. And then notice what kind of develops. So we've already had come into sort of an open stretch like this, a little bit with butterfly. And this just enhances it more on the inner legs here. Softening through your back very gradually. Nice deep breath. And every so often you can just explore maybe moving slightly more into this pose as everything just starts to stretch a little. Staying passive and relaxed, but feeling the stretch. How does it feel? Do you like the pose or not? Are there places you can easily relax in your body and others that just constantly tense up? Soft belly breaths. How does this pose make you feel? And we'll take a nice long breath. Very slowly, you start to walk your hands back, lift your body up. Enjoying whatever you feel, especially as you sort of release out of the inner legs as we come up. And then we'll come into Shavasana, neutral spine. As you lie here, notice how long it takes you to relax everything. It might take you 3 breaths, 7 breaths, maybe 10 breaths before everything kind of feels safe enough to let go and melt to the mat. Where do you find it hardest to really surrender and soften? Lower back or upper back, neck? So nice long breath here, and we'll hug in. We've taken 2 poses where the body's come forward. We're going to take heart bench now, opening up through the upper part of our back, but also a very gentle curve to the lower spine, just to kind of counter pose. So you'll need 2 blocks. One long one that goes aligns along the spine, and then a tall block just to rest the back of your head on. And then gently you'll come down, lying on this block, sort of around the heart area, but take your time to play with the perfect positioning with it. It will always feel funny to start with, quite hard against your back, but just find a place that's acceptable. And then you'll find you do soften and almost forget about it. Take a few moments to fidget, and then just allow. You might naturally sort of tuck your chin in here, which lengthens a little through your neck, back of the neck. Try and relax the lower back, not too much of a curve. This is more about opening up through your thoracic and upper chest and back. You can close your eyes. Keep checking through your body where you can relax. It might be the back of your neck or the sides of your neck. Your shoulders or upper arms might feel tense. Perhaps the abdomen or your buttocks. And following your breath in your belly. the rise and fall of the belly and chest. Relaxing. Noticing how perhaps it all feels a bit softer on the back. Noticing the quality of your breath. And then very gently we will just lift our head. Support yourself with your arms as you lift your body ever so gently, popping the blocks away and then coming down. Relax. And often I find this after effect can really reveal a lot of tension that we were holding in our back. Relaxing your lower arms and your wrists. Gentle breaths. And as everything fades, we'll draw the right and then left knee in. Have a moment to hug a little bit longer. Lift the head if you want to, just to ease a bit more through your whole back and spine. And then we're going to just use one block for the final pose of a supported bridge. If you want to use the block on the highest height, you can. Or you might just find that you want to be a bit more sort of restorative this evening and have it on the lower level. But wherever you bring this block, so we're going to come into this position, lift up onto your toes, and then plant your yoga block sort of not on the lumbar spine, but on that flat of the sacrum, sort of in line with the top of the buttocks is where I always sort of advise. It's not too uncomfortable there. You can feel it, but it feels it feels right. And so coming into this position, if this is too high up or it aggravates you this evening for whatever reason, just lower the block down and find that same position. And as we just start to settle, relaxing the inner thighs, really try and soften the shoulders and neck as well. The two places that often tense are the legs and this upper body where the shoulders connect to the mat. You can follow your breath in your belly, relaxing again inner thighs and buttocks. And just noticing what you're thinking about this pose, what you're thinking generally in your mind. Whether the thought you have is recurring, or does it keep jumping to different ideas? Be the witness. Relaxing anything that you find tense. Lengthening through your neck. Lovely pose for your throat chakra. This also works heart and solar plexus, sacral and root. Notice the quality of your breath, whether you feel comfortable with deep breaths or whether you find that your breath naturally becomes quite shallow. Whether just bringing up the idea of breath changes your breath. And then we'll take a few more breaths. Just feeling the last sensations here. And then when you're ready, lifting your body up gently, perhaps coming onto your toes. Remove the block and then very slowly roll yourself down. And let's just take a few moments here to feel whatever we're feeling. Whether often those last two poses don't feel the most comfortable to be in, but the after effect is really quite nourishing. So when you're ready, have a moment to hug your knees in, choosing now whether you want to stay lying down or whether you'd like to come up to seated for relaxation. Whichever position you choose, just get yourself warm and comfortable. And if you're coming up to seated, again, make sure that if you're using a meditation cushion, that feels right for you. Let's draw a card. Often it's quite nice to take a card for a morning class and see what guidance you get for the day. But equally, I find it quite lovely to take one of an evening, because it's something that may linger with you and you can ponder and perhaps even go to sleep dreaming about whatever's been given. This one is Bethany, and I'll read you a little bit more about what it says. Bethany, when you take excellent care of yourself, everybody benefits. Give yourself a relaxing treat today, such as a massage, salt bath, or pedicure. So maybe consider this one for tomorrow. You are a giver, and God loves you for that. Now it is time to give to yourself. I am helping you to spiritually open your body through the process of relaxation. So you see that relaxing has its own productive side to it. The more that you allow me and the other angels to give to you, the more you will be able to give to others. Your soul has called out to heaven, begging for some rest and relaxation. You have been working ceaselessly, and you have been juggling many other people's interests. Now it is time for your reward. This is a directive from the heaven. Take care of yourself and don't allow yourself to be swayed from the important mission. Take steps right now to create time for relaxation. You will feel happier and have more peace of mind as a result, which will benefit everyone in your life. So we often do hear, the saying self-care, but it really is important, because when we're balanced and harmonious, then we can help others. When we're not no help to anyone. So just take a few moments now and just think about what you can plan for yourself, which really intentionally brings in some self-care and relaxation. So just have a few more moments sitting there and with some quietness. And what does relaxation mean to you? For me, it's often peace and quiet and the luxury of perhaps reading a chapter or two of a book. And that's me giving myself that space and time to myself, which is so rewarding. And then you don't mind doing things for others when you've allowed that treat, perhaps for yourself. So just notice what you can maybe bring in to your day. Even if it's 10 minutes, half an hour, you feel like you've given back to yourself. And often perhaps your yoga practice is exactly what that is. It's that hour of mind, body, spirit, self-care. So just gently, when you're ready, begin to come back from relaxation. Moving fingers and toes, giving them a gentle wiggle. Feeling your physical body. Often when we have relaxation, the mind wanders, we don't feel the body. And if you're lying down, hug your knees in, have a gentle rock. And as you come to seated, take a few moments just to again ground your energies, see your roots extend into the earth. It only takes the moment to visualize this rooting and grounding image. And then when you're ready, you can bring hands to heart center. Om Shanti. Namaste.